want to watch.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to Fatberg. Today we're going to be taking a look at probably one of the worst things I've done on the channel so far. This is one of the big shock videos, like one of the worst ones out there. Today we're going to be taking a look at and reacting to the video known as Ghostrider. So I wanted to talk about this one a little bit because there's a lot of like rumor and speculation to the video. So as the story goes, the man in the video was a cartel member who earned the nickname Ghostrider for his tendency to burn his victims alive. For this, a rival cartel gang captured him and in an act of revenge did the same onto him. Now, in the video, we see a man getting his face lit on fire until there's nothing left. The comparison you will frequently see is to fucking Red Skull from Marvel. The problem with this story is there is zero confirmation to any of it. It is all speculation. The earliest sources out there is some Spanish-speaking blog that mentions the story, but as far as we know, there isn't legitimacy to any of that. In all likelihood, the video was just titled that as an edgy joke, like a lot of these videos tend to be, and somebody probably just made the story up after the fact because, I mean, it's a pretty good story, I suppose, right? And furthermore, you can read online, there is a very real possibility that this wasn't even a cartel member at all. This could have just been some guy who was picked at random or maybe wronged the local cartel in some way and, you know, became a victim for it. Typically, when a cartel members, when they do these kinds of things, it's to make a point, and if it's revenge against a rival cartel, they'll, you know, they'll fucking tell you that. They want their rivals to know this is what happens when you mess with us. You know, they're not just gonna fucking do this and like disappear unless, you know, they weren't trying to make a point of some sort. This video here and Funky Town, for instance, have zero context to them. They're filmed in a very impersonal, secondhand kind of way, which would imply they may have not been supposed to film it at all. Cartels typically don't want people to know what they're doing, and if the video wasn't created to state some kind of specific point, then it stands to reason this may have just been some random person who said the wrong thing or hung out with the wrong people and was punished for it. Now, with that said, I'm not totally discounting the possibility that this was some kind of cartel member. He very well could have been. But the Ghostrider story itself has very little ground to stand on and is probably completely made up. There's a lot of random connections people make online to like some events that happened around that time, and there's just nothing. There's nothing connecting the video. The video just fucking popped up on the internet and people ran with some story they found. And the main reason I even wanted to mention that is because a lot of people online are almost like praising the torturers for what they did here. And again, like this could have just been some guy. Like we don't fucking know that. Like we don't know if this dude was also fucking evil. A video popped up titled Ghostrider and people's imaginations ran fucking wild with it. So this video was meant to be a real quick breakdown, but there's also going to be a reaction. I've never actually seen this video in its entirety. I've seen bits of it shared around online. You know, sometimes people share like GIFs and shit of it to shock people, which is another discussion we're going to have at some point about how just like morally fucked up it is to like show people shit like this without their consent. Like you can really fuck up somebody's day, like somebody's life, seeing something like this. Like if you're watching this channel, you're probably you've probably seen a lot of fucked up shit, right? Like you're coming here for context and things like that. And you're used to it, and it probably doesn't bother you that much. I mean, some people it doesn't bother them fucking at all, which, you know, watch out for those guys. But you need to remember that for your average person, this is fucking traumatic to see. So don't fucking share people shit like this without, like, telling them, like, what it is. But we're going to take a look at it. Again, I've never seen the video in its entirety, and we'll take a look at what we're dealing with here. All right, good Christ. Fuck. So, we're gonna react to the video now. I'm filming this reaction like a few days later. So, when I started filming this is like supposed to be like a comeback thing, right? I haven't uploaded in a long time. Not that anybody's fucking paying attention, but I was thinking like, yeah, let's do a big one. Let's do a big one, and boom, fucking Ghostrider. I had some stuff to say about it, and then I did the fucking dissertation there that I did, and then I was like, oh yeah, I have to watch that now. I've never seen this video all the way through. I've seen like snippets of it that have gotten shared around, and I'm actually working on a video about like why people watch shit like this. I've been working on it for a while now, and it kind of speaks to the larger discussion of like desensitization and shit like that. Because I used to be able to watch shit like this, no fucking problem. But as I got older, I just kind of lost the stomach for it. It's strange because it's not like I really stopped. It's just over time I started to kind of look at this stuff like this is miserable shit. So I don't really watch things like this anymore unless it's for a specific reason, right? If I watch like a really shocking video, it's because it's something that's in the news or it's something I'm researching or whatever. I don't watch shit like this for just the raw shock value or fun of it. I don't do that anymore. I'm not looking forward to this. I was really rethinking even doing this video after I filmed that because it's definitely been beaten out in recent years, but the Ghostrider video is considered to be one of the worst fucking videos out there, and it's definitely, it's still in that top 10 there, from what I'm aware of, what it contains and what I've seen. So I'm not going to share where you go to find this shit. If you want to watch it, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I don't think you should. But you fucking find it on your own time. What I will say is it looks like it is 2 videos, which lines up with what I have heard, and they're both about a minute long. So I'm going to turn the volume down a pinch, and let's see what we end up with here. So at this point, he's been beaten and fucked up pretty badly, and he's kind of like partially on fire. Ooh. So the fire like went down to his pants and shit, and it's getting his junk, and he's freaking out. But this is... Oh, I think this might be the later clip. Ooh. He's fucking cooked, man. Like, that's rough. I might have watched this out of order. Ooh. And he's fucking alive. He's looking around. He's trying to figure, like, they're saying stuff. I can't understand what they're saying. It's not the highest quality shit. He's done. So, make sure the fucking camera's still rolling because that would be some shit. I got quiet there. So let me gather myself a little bit here. I will take a look at the second clip here because I think what I watched was actually the later portion of the video. I believe there's 2 parts, like at the start of it, and then it cuts to like a while later. I've seen worse stuff than that, but there is something, much like why I fucking refuse to watch Funky Town. I'm not watching that shit. There's something about the psychological aspect to this. Like, it's not so much that it's the goriest thing in the fucking, like, face of the earth, but there's something about, like, the guy's alive. He's done. Like, there's no help in this guy. Even if a hospital fucking just constructed itself out of thin air around him, he'd be done. And he's alive, and he's looking around, and he's apparently he is begging for them to kill him at this point in the video. I don't understand what they're saying, and there's no subtitles here. And it's just a fucking miserable thing to see. So, again, what has happened is they repeatedly lit his face on fire with rubbing alcohol, right? So he's not just, it's not just the immediate, like, he's fucking engulfed and his face is off. Like, they're just repeatedly cooking him over and over and over until the shit is gone. And there's cuts. You don't really see too much of this. You see it looks like it happened like 3 or 4 times. But obviously, this took place over a couple of hours, and they cut it up. And the quality, like, it's... So I almost think, like, lower quality videos are almost more graphic in a weird way, because it leaves more to the imagination. This isn't the highest quality thing on the face of the earth, which is partly why I don't say, like, this is that gory. But there's fucking plenty to chew on here. Let's take a look at this second clip. I'm laughing out of nervousness, not out of fucking pure sociopathy. Okay, yeah. So the videos, I watched the later video. Looks like there's maybe, okay, I'm gonna stop this here. So it looks like there's maybe, the clips are merged. There was a little bit more on this one here, but it's like the same clip. It's weird the way this is set up here. So, don't need to see nothing there. Let me close this and gather a little bit more what there is to talk about here. So again, it's short. There's a little bit over a minute of footage there to work with. And again, that's just, it speaks to the resilience of the human body, where it's like it's almost too good at surviving, because it's not like you can do anything at that point. His face is gone. His face is fucking gone. The Red Skull comparison is accurate. And, like, what do? You know? And again, like, people are parading around like the people who did that almost as heroes, because again, as the story goes, is that he did this to other people. That's where he got the nickname. We don't fucking know that. That could have been like a farmer they pulled off the fucking streets or some shit. You know, that could have been anybody. It was probably a cartel member. Now, if you dig a little bit more, where this story kind of comes from is there was like combat happening around that time. And they think that that guy was a captured member of like what was it, like the United Cartels or something. And it's all just so fucking loosely connected to some stuff that was happening around the same time. And the Ghostrider story came from somebody's asshole. That is fucking, there is no evidence to any of that shit. He was probably a cartel member. They fucking brutalized that guy for no fucking reason. And like, again, we also don't know if it was the CJNG, and it lines up with what they typically do. Let me also point out, I'm fucking terrified of the cartels, dude. Like, I do not fuck with these guys. You know what? You guys fucking run Mexico or wherever, Colombia, wherever the fuck. I'm not fucking with you. I'm just saying, like, what there is that's out there and what we have to deal with here. That's fucked up. That's a miserable thing. Like, I would almost go as far as to say, like, even if that guy was doing that to other people, like, still just fucking put him down. Like, why are we doing this shit? And so another thing, I talk about this from time to time, is there are, like, gore videos out there that have some merit to them, right? Like, they have, like, a lesson to be learned, or something to be gained from watching it. I don't think there's anything to be gained from watching that. That's just a horrible fucking thing that happened, and we know it happens. It's in the news. There's tons of other videos about it. We know what's happening in these places. You don't really need to see that. There are some things out there that I think, again, like there's some information to be gained from it. Like, for instance, I've never seen this video in entirety, but the fucking Russian lathe incident, I don't think any, like, average person needs to see something like that, but, like, if you work in that industry, I think footage like that is important because it shows you, like, what the fuck that machine does. You know, there is something to be gained from that. The Ghostrider video, there is nothing to be gained from except a fucking nightmare. You already know. You already know what these guys are doing, and the Ghostrider video, that's pretty fucking bad. I will say, I think I almost want to say that it was a little overblown. I don't want to like diminish like how horrible that is by saying that, but I was reading like the way some people described it online, and it's just not a very high quality video. It's an old like cell phone video, so you can't really make out much detail. It's again like a psychological thing. Like you're watching somebody go through like one of the worst fucking things that could happen to a human, and that's horrifying to see. But you're not getting a lot of the nitty gritty detail to it like some people describe online. Don't watch that. Yeah, I'll add that to the list of. Again, like I said, there's nothing to be gained from that. It's a dude getting his face lit on fire until he no longer has a face. And apparently, like the people surrounding him were like making fun of him and shit as the video goes on, which also stands to reason that like fuck these guys, you know, like that wasn't a good thing that happened. Which I think is the point that I really want to hammer home here is like don't fucking like what is it? You can't fight fire with fire is kind of what I want to say here, but that's being a dick. No, like two wrongs don't make a right. Even if that guy was a piece of shit, like that's not how you handle that. That was bad. That is definitely one of the worst things I have ever watched, but I have seen worse shit. I've definitely seen worse images than that. We will take a look at some other stuff like that down the road here. I wanted to do a big one to get out of the way to kind of fire up the channel again. Some other smaller stuff coming up. And I have some larger shit coming up as well. So stay tuned and yeah.